Welcome to another explainer from NCSA Learn. NCSA, of course, stands for the National Cybersecurity Agency of the Maldives, and our whole goal here is to make you, the user, the absolute strongest link in cybersecurity. So today we've got a fantastic explainer lined up. We're going to take something that sounds, well, honestly kind of intimidating, the OWASP Top 10 Security Risks for 2021, and we're going to completely demystify the whole shebang. Basically, this document is the global rulebook for what can go wrong in web applications, and we're breaking it down right now. Our overarching mission at the NCSA is to ensure you are that strongest link in the digital chain. We really believe that cybersecurity isn't just a job locked away in some IT department, it's a shared responsibility for all of us. But to do your part, you kind of need to understand the threats, right? So today, we're translating all that complex developer jargon into everyday relatable concepts. And don't worry, you absolutely do not need a computer science degree for this explainer, just your everyday common sense. Okay, to make this official top 10 list digestible, we've grouped everything into a few manageable zones. We'll be looking at broken doors and bad locks, sneaky intruders and forgeries, structural and design flaws, dangerous security blind spots, and finally, how you are the strongest link. So let's jump straight into Section 1, Understanding the OWASP Standard. This is essentially the global consensus on the absolute most critical security risks facing web applications today. Moving right along to Category 2, Broken Doors and Bad Locks. This is where we dive into access and identity risks. Now, the number one risk out there is broken access control. It's literally just like slipping past a distracted bouncer into a VIP room you definitely shouldn't be in. In the digital world, access control is the system that makes sure regular users can't accidentally, or intentionally for that matter, access admin pages, other people's bank accounts, or private files. When a developer fails to enforce these rules, well, the bouncer falls asleep at the door. Anyone could just wander in, grab the microphone, and cause total chaos. Crazy enough, it's the most common vulnerability on the web right now. Coming in at number 2, we've got cryptographic failures. Picture mailing your deepest, darkest secrets, like your social security number or credit card details, on a totally transparent postcard. Anyone handling the mail, the postal worker, your neighbor, anyone can just read it. This happens online when data isn't locked down properly. When websites fail to use proper encryption, like HTTPS, they're essentially broadcasting your sensitive information for anyone eavesdropping to read right out of the air. Now, here's a crucial point. Security misconfiguration isn't about lacking the right tools, it's about failing to set them up properly out of the box. Think about spending thousands of dollars on this massive, impenetrable titanium safe, putting all your valuables inside, and then leaving the combination code as 0000, or, leaving the manufacturer's manual sitting right on top. Websites do this all the time. They use robust software but leave default passwords completely intact, or they leave error pages on that just hand over sensitive system info to hackers. Then we have identification and authentication failures. Imagine dropping your workplace ID badge on the sidewalk. A total stranger picks it up, clips it to their shirt, and just walks right through the front door of your office. The scanner sees the badge, right? Not the person. In software, this happens when systems fail to securely verify who you really are. If an app allows super weak passwords, doesn't use two-factor authentication, or poorly manages your digital session, an attacker can just put on your digital badge and waltz right in. Okay, moving to Section 3, Sneaky Intruders and Forgeries. Let's take a look at these deceptive attacks. With injection, an attacker feeds the system hostile data. Think of a super busy, wildly overworked chef in a restaurant kitchen who blindly follows whatever is written on the order ticket. If someone slips in a fake order that says, "Hey, throw all the food in the garbage and turn off the ovens," the chef might just do it without even thinking. On the web, if a user types a malicious command into a search bar and the system doesn't filter it out, it might execute that command, handing over entire databases just because it blindly followed a bad recipe. Rounding out the top 10 list is server-side request forgery, or SSRF. This one is really clever. The attacker knows they can't break in directly because of firewalls, so they trick the server itself into making a dangerous connection for them. It's exactly like tricking an internal security guard into walking out the back door, fetching a dangerous package from a dark alley, and bringing it right past all the security checkpoints into the building for you. The application ends up attacking its own internal networks. Section 4 brings us to structural and design flaws. This is what happens when the foundational blueprint fails before you even start. Insecure design is a fascinating addition to the list because it highlights a massive shift in thinking. It basically says that no amount of perfect, bug-free coding can fix a system that was fundamentally designed without security in mind. Imagine an architect building a massive, thick-walled bank vault to store millions of dollars, but they just totally forget to design a doorway for it. Or maybe they put the door in a public hallway. If the blueprint is bad, the building is vulnerable. Security has to be baked in from the very beginning. And that naturally leads into vulnerable and outdated components. Today, modern software is almost never built from scratch. It's stitched together using existing free libraries. But using outdated components means relying on old parts that everyone, including the hackers, already knows are completely broken. It's exactly like driving your family down the highway in a car with recalled failing brakes. The manufacturer warned you, the mechanic warned you, but you ignored the update. Eventually, those brakes are going to fail. Let's look at Section 5, Dangerous Security Blind Spots, or as I like to call it, Trusting the Untrustworthy. Software and data integrity failures happen when an app relies on plugins or updates from untrusted sources without verifying if they've been tampered with. Look, if a delivery driver hands you a mysterious, heavily taped box that is literally ticking, you wouldn't just bring it into your living room without checking the return address, right? By blindly trusting updates, systems can invite devastating malware straight into their core infrastructure. We have to verify everything. And here's a big one: security logging and monitoring failures. You would be absolutely amazed at how many major corporations suffer from this. If you don't log the activity on your network, breaches can go completely unnoticed for months or even years, simply because nobody is watching the tape. It's like installing a state-of-the-art security camera system around your house, but never actually plugging it in. When a break-in happens, you have absolutely zero evidence of how they got in or what they took. Finally, Section 6, you are the strongest link. Let's talk about applying all this knowledge. So here we have the full 2021 Web Application Security Standard list. By understanding these developer flaws, you gain a kind of digital superpower. You can better spot shady apps asking for weird permissions, that's spotting broken access control. You'll know to look for secure HTTPS connections, saving you from cryptographic failures. You'll make sure your apps are updated, stopping outdated components in their tracks. By practicing excellent digital hygiene, you become the active, alert security guard of your own digital life. So, armed with this explainer of the OWASP Top 10, I want to leave you with a question. How are you going to change your everyday habits to secure your digital neighborhood? Are you finally going to turn on two-factor authentication? Will you actually hit Update on your phone instead of Remind Me Tomorrow? The tools are right there in your hands, and the National Cybersecurity Agency of the Maldives is counting on you. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and I'll see you in the next explainer.